Good afternoon. Welcome back to the 4RG podcast. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been, we're supposed to expect to Halloween, but that did not work out.
Yeah, there's some complications, but
we'll get to that. We'll get there.
It is what it is.
True. All right. Well, welcome back. The podcast where any topic is possible for 45 minutes. Today's two topics in a subdivided category feature conspiracy theories and paranormal stories. Ooh. As you know, this would have been featured on our podcast near the time of Halloween, but unfortunately, good and bad, we had some big changes in our team and some upgrades that made us move around our podcast dates. So, today will be our t-shirt giveaway. Originally, we released it on Wednesday, and I don't think it hit as much of a social impact as we wanted it to, but it's re-released today. We got about 25 people signed up for the giveaway, so you've got a pretty decent chance at winning two of the two t-shirts. Said that twice in a row, and I don't know why. Okay, so all you need to sign up, if you haven't signed up already during this podcast, is your email information, so that we can notify that you won, your YouTube username, and the DIY giveaway code. Pretty simple to do, pretty fast. Takes probably 2 minutes to sign up. In other news, all of our audio has been upgraded. It'll be upgraded probably next week as well. We have brand new pop filters that just came in the mail, and we also have more mics in the studio. We hope this makes our audio better and the podcast cleaner. We also have a big announcement to make. We are going to be adding someone to the 4 Random Guys team. What do you guys think?
Very exciting. That's exciting news.
This is big news. Big facts.
And it could be one of the viewers.
Alright. If you're not like some fake viewer, like blackmailing us or anything.
That is true. Blackmailers aren't welcomed. But thieves are. Burglars are.
Actually, they're encouraged.
We're encouraging everyone that's currently in prison and jail to subscribe, because we need those good voters. Alright, so it is a 2-minute long application if you contact us on Snapchat, Instagram, or your email address. Our email address is 4randomguys101@gmail.com. No spaces, no caps. Furthermore, let's dive into the podcast. We're going to start off with conspiracy theories. Are you guys all ready to go?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think it's not just spooky stories, right? Also.
Yeah, it's a mix, but we'll start off with conspiracy theories and then we'll just branch it out.
Yeah, spooky.
Right.
Yep.
You guys both wearing both those shirts makes me get that sponsor vibe. Are you not telling me something here? I'm just kidding.
Who's up first?
All right, so let me pull my thing up here. So I'm gonna go first, and I have this was from a viewer. Ooh, a little bit of footsie there. I see how this is. Yes, I'm gonna view that on the podcast because it's been the first 50 minutes of this. All right. So this was one of the viewers' ideas. This came probably about 2 weeks ago. And it's the Mandela effect. So the Mandela effect is a conspiracy theory. It was first got its name when Fiona Broom. I don't know, that's a sad last name, Broom. She self-identified a paranormal consultant. So I guess you could say that this kind of fits into conspiracy theories and paranormal stories. I didn't know that this was a double take, honestly, but here we go. She remembered the former South African President Nelson Mandela dying in the 1980s in prison, although Mandela lived until 2013. She could describe news coverage of his death and even a speech from his widow about his death, yet none of this happened. So if you don't know what the Mandela effect is, the Mandela effect is basically a group believing, or a person or an individual believing that one event was different from the other. And this can be also, some people think the Mandela effect is like false memories. An example of that would be like on our last podcast, episode 1, check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. We talked about Marvel, and we had some different opinions on that, and most times that is also of false memories. You go to watch it, and you are trying to fill the blanks in, but you're just kind of adding other bits that you thought were true. That's off of false memories. That's not the Mandela effect. So you just have to get the determination between those two. Going further in, though, even though the event didn't happen and Mandela did not die until 2013, that is where the main effect came from. And this was off of just one person. So another thing, and I'll pull another article. This is off verymindwell.com. Just, these are two sources I pulled just to get some more information off of these. Here's some notable examples. The first one was Henry VIII eating a turkey leg. I'm sorry, this is just one different examples we're pulling off here, but either way. People had a memory of a painting from Henry VIII eating a turkey leg, though the painting never existed. There was many cartoons, and in our society too, there's many memes and stuff that came about it, but this was not a painting at all. It was just something that people thought it was. A big one for Star Wars fans. If you saw Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, you probably remember Darth Vader uttering the famous line, "Luke, I am your father." He actually said, "Luke, you're adopted." No, he... No, you might be surprised to learn then the line was actually, "No, I am your father." Most people have memories of line being the former rather than the late. Wow. I don't even think that I knew. I'm pretty sure I always thought it was "Luke, I am your father."
That's what I thought.
So it's actually no?
It's "No, I am your father."
No way.
Wow.
I have to rewatch that whole movie 5 times now.
We gotta go look a clip up or something of this. Because, that's insane.
I don't, and this is just a site, do not, quote us on this, but, that's a pretty big thing.
We kind of should fact check that, I feel like.
And we will fact check this in our next episode that comes up. But, yeah, this is a big one. So the next one is Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. This is kind of like a Disney thing if you check into that. If you watch Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, you probably remember the line, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" You may be shocked to learn the line actually began with the phrase, "Magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?"
I know that either.
Yeah. The next one was Oscar Mayer. I gotta have those good wiener jokes in between every now and then. We're a podcast here, people. We aren't scared to dive into some wiener
Don't
jokes.
mess around.
Yeah.
No games.
So this is a controversy over the spelling of a famous brand of hot dog, Oscar Mayer wieners. Some people claim to be remember the brand being spelled M-E-Y-E-R instead of M-A-Y-E-R. M-A-Y-E-R is actually the correct spelling. M-A versus M-E is the difference, but M-A is actually how it's spelled for the company. That is about it. There is actually a movie that is off of the Mandela Effect entirely. It was called Shazam, and it was out in the 1990s. The Mandela Effect actually goes to the idea of alternate realities. This is people thinking that things happen differently than other things, but this is just a theory off of another theory. So if you want to check out the Mandela Effect, just Google "what is the Mandela Effect" on Google, and you can get a ton of answers off of this. The Mandela Effect is pretty cool. Also, shout out to one of our viewers that gave us this topic, and we're welcome for many more. So as we go on to our next topic, for John and Corbin here, just remember that these topics are viewer given. As I researched this one, I did not have an idea of what I was going to do for my theory originally, and I just kind of grabbed one from a viewer that I thought was a great idea and took it and ran with it. So shout out to that viewer. Thank you very much for supporting our channel.
So to summarize that up, it's really just people thinking that something happened or it was different than what actually happened.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's just you view something differently, but you have a strong opinion off of that.
So your memory is you really think that happened.
Yeah,
it really
the,
did.
It's like a misquote, basically.
Yeah.
Did we fact check the "Luke, I'm your father" thing?
I just
No.
didn't actually. I am your father. Although that is one of the most popular lines of the Star Wars franchise. It's too bad that line wasn't even said in the movie. It is, "No, I am your father."
Holy crap.
That's actually pretty cool. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't even know that either. I kind of feel stupid for being a Star Wars fan. And being able to say,
Wait.
I didn't even
But
know
doesn't think about this though. The line was different from Luke, I am your father to I am your father. So therefore, he could have said Luke before he said I am your father, and it would have been just a combined quote.
So is the line "No, I am your father"?
that. Yeah, no, I am.
Oh, okay. So it's a lot different than I thought.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
the big line is a misquote, actually.
Jesus.
That happens a few times
Just somebody heard it wrong.
due to media.
That's crazy. So that's a good idea of the Mandela effect. That's a big one. Jesus. All right, so we're on to Corbin next. Corbin's got some notes off of his, and he's ready to share it. Corbin, take the lead.
So, my topic this week was a conspiracy theory based off of Shakespeare. It's not nearly as in depth as Zach's was, but the main theory behind it is that back then, when he was writing all his plays and whatnot, people just think that the plays himself had more to them than a normal, non-illiterate man would have known. Like, for Shakespeare himself, there wasn't much for school. Like, you would think this man, he's a very smart man, as you could tell. And what happened is, when he went to school at his local grammar school, it was called. And there was, where he took his normal classes, like, there was, like, Latin, and there was mathematics. But there was no actual proof of him going there. Like, this is what's claimed to be where he went, but there's no proof. No signs.
At all.
No, nothing. There's no documents. There is nothing. He's known to be a pretty literate man. Like, he has a huge brain. Like, he's
So
smart.
does that mean that he went to school up until that point, or does
No, like, there's no proof of him ever
at all going to school?
No, none. They don't have. So, with him being as smart as he is, back then you're assuming their handwriting you would think is pretty decent, knowing you can actually read. He has 6 signatures that are actually saved today, and so all of them are known to be. There's a certain word they call them, but it's like chicken scratches, basically, where they're known to be in an illiterate man's handwriting, which is kind of weird because knowing Shakespeare, he wasn't that way. That's not how he was.
Well, I remember seeing that because I remember that there was a lot of different ways he would sign his name off of stuff. I mean, you got to think about this though. For Shakespeare to write all of these different plays off of, I mean, if this is factual evidence off of this, and I believe that, but the dude was really, really good for just going off of not being in school. I mean, these works are... Romeo and Juliet is something that you actually have to go into as a requirement for high school. Like, this is the play that you go over and over again, and you have to learn, like, almost the entire play just to go and pass English.
So the thing about it is, like, another thing is his stories in general talk way more about, like, topics that his role in society he wouldn't even, like, know about. Like, he wasn't even higher up in society. His later end ones talked about artistic sports like hunting, falconry, and even tennis bowling back then. Even though someone at the bottom where he was wouldn't even know about this. Like, it was something not even known to them. But he talks about it.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So the plays have such like a wide range that someone with advanced education had to have wrote it, obviously. And there's no proof of him ever going to school. It's just kind of crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Alright, does that wrap up your final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not really saying I believe this, but it's just kind of throwing it out there.
Hey man, it's interesting enough. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of different things, even like this Mandela effect and other conspiracy theories out there too. It seems legit.
Yeah.
It does. Alright, moving on to John. Go for it.
Alright, so when we first made this, when we first had the idea for all these research tasks and conspiracy theories and stuff, we were planning on doing this around Halloween, so it was not just going to be conspiracy theories. It was going to be like topics that we could do something spooky or something scary to think about and stuff like that. So my topic, I thought it was kind of cool, but it was kind of like a horror thing just reading about. It was like in World War II, in this era, it was the Nazi, like the doctors in this time. Like they're how they conducted experiments and found information and all this type of stuff. Basically only one of their things, or one of their research projects, they could use the results from. It was like this hypothermia one. So they threw basically some inmates, or like political inmates mostly, from this camp that it was at, or conducted at. I don't remember what the name of the camp was. It wasn't Auschwitz or like that popular one, but they threw these political inmates, or people from war, out into the freezing cold for like hours on end. They didn't eat or drink anything. They were just thrown into the cold until there was a point where they were almost dead due to the freezing, and immediately they threw them into like a hot tub. And this usually killed them.
And this was a test.
Yeah, this was like some research project like done by experiment, like doctors and stuff.
What were they researching?
It was for hypothermia. They were trying to find a way to make it so their soldiers, the German soldiers, could like sustain and actually fight through like cold climates in battles without having to worry like how to get rid of or like survive hypothermia.
That's insane.
Mhm. They did so many weird experiments like that. And that was just one of them. Like one of them, they'd find like pairs of kids when they first entered the camps and take them away, and then they'd split the twins and do stuff to them to see or harm each other to see if it would affect the other twin.
Oh my god! There was one article that I had to research on that when we got to the topic for an AP English class that I took, and that was, God, that is insane. When they did that study and they would split them up and see if the one twin could feel the pain of the other, it was something along that lines.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah, there was so many effed up things that they did. Another one, for example, they would cut off limbs of some people, like if they were injured or bad, and they would put infections into the people to see what would happen, or transfer all these different type of things. Like they would cut off, let's say, two people's right arms, and they would replace them with each other and try like seeing if they would grow back to normal. Like no, that's not how nerves work.
When they don't know enough science back then, so they just start experimenting mass quantities of people.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Almost all the research projects, like any of the results written down or anything, luckily, well, this is like a controversial part too, I guess, but it was burned down, and whether it was burned down for good, or whether like even the remaining stuff that we have today, whether it's ethical or not, even to use it. Like for the hypothermia, that one there, that's the only project that they've done that we could actually use some of the results to actually help find cures and stuff.
Well, it makes sense, but it's crazy that we're using, and I'm not gonna like sugarcoat this. We're using concentration camps to literally test things for soldiers for their advantage. Like, you're gonna take people out of this concentration camp who are already like near death because of how much suffering they're experiencing, and we're going to subject them to multiple different tests to literally see if the people we are already suffering and already like going through all this crap, we're going to send them to figure out if our soldiers are okay in those situations, because we don't want to put our soldiers through this, but we want to have these basically test rabbits to see if it's going to work or not. And we're using humans to do this. It's like, it's not bad enough situations already. Now you're going to put them into this shit?
I mean, when you're under a lord, and like Hitler was, either you do what he says or you die, basically. It's not like they had a choice, probably, what they were doing.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, there was a lot of horrible projects. There's so many more that I could list off, but... So that was sort of my take for the spooky season.
Oh, yeah, spooky.
That didn't probably go the way people thought it would. Spooky.
Well, so great topics, guys. I will say that the one about all this testing crap is insane. It's just, that's nuts. So going back to the spooky season here, yes, we're going to take you back a little bit, because we did not get the chance to meet with all of you when we were actually hit that spooky season. So as you know, Halloween went on like normal. For a few states, they actually declared that Halloween could not be a thing because of COVID, which is literally the first time in forever that has ever happened. As we had this year for trick-or-treaters coming up to our door, we probably had substantially, I would say we lost almost 3/4 of the people that came for trick-or-treating for kids just because of COVID alone. And it's sad. I mean, that's all these kids that are inspired to do this kind of stuff, and the one holiday that they get to enjoy it and hang with friends, and now COVID has just ruined that. So, a big jump, and I will not go far into this. As I said in our first and second podcast, we are not going to go on these really deep and political and controversial stuff. We will explore topics, sarcastic, serious, or not, but politics are not the one. And so, just so you guys know, if you've been checking out the news, after almost a 4.5 to 5 day election, Joe Biden was elected into office. So Biden is now our new president, and Kamala Harris is our vice president. I know a lot of people were confused about that. There was a lot of false voting, and there was a lot of... if we're going serious on our podcast today, there was a lot of conspiracies that they had some fraud voting scams. I think Trump is still taking a few states to court to figure out whether or not he can reverse that around. And if the dude's determined enough, there's a chance that he could get in office. But at this point, if I were him, I would just say that's enough. So, yeah. Alright, we're going to take a pause here, and we're going to come up with some more ideas for the rest of our 20 minutes. We wanted to give you guys just a short jump into this. We were going to dive further into conspiracy theories and paranormal events for our podcast, but due to the fact that we're out of the Halloween area, we didn't really want to go too far into that, just because it'd be less exciting for you guys, and we didn't want to drag that out. So we've got almost about 100 to 200 topics that we're going to research. We already have a huge chunk of them that we've put together from our viewers. Thank you guys very, very much for sending these in. You guys have been awesome. And then we've also put together probably 20 topics on the side of that. So we got a ton of them. We're going to explore a few of them quick, and we will be right back after the break.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No. I am your father.
Alright, well, there's your proof. For sure. Star Wars, I knew it. I don't know. I mean, we've had some other people tell us that it wasn't really that much of a difference, but I don't know. I think after hearing from Star Wars for all this time and actually finding out that Luke, I'm your father is not at all what the line was, that hurts, man, just a little bit. I don't know, viewers or listeners, I don't know what we actually call this at this point, because it's kind of like a viewer thing. We have to figure out if we can get on Spotify or like Apple Music for our podcast, because then we can just do audio-only podcasts.
Doesn't iHeartRadio, they do a big podcast section.
Yeah.
Like they have one of the bigger ones over, I think.
Or
I mean, Spotify obviously is the biggest.
We
Probably.
could go into the cloud.
Get that 5G.
I mean, we can figure it out, but I know that if you have the YouTube Premium and stuff, you can lock your phone and just listen to it as an audio thing. I know that sounds bad for all of our viewers now that you have to get YouTube Premium just to listen to us that way, but, I mean, if you think about it, you can just put headphones in and just crank your music and still listen to it, so. Okay, so we are going to finish off this podcast and continuing on to our next podcast with some topics that you have sent us, along with a few of our own topics. So we have got a ton of topics that you guys have submitted, and we're going to go off of most of those. There's no way we're getting through all of your topics by the end of this video or in our next episode or any further out ones, because we have so many of them. But alright, here let's start off, and John's going to take the lead off of the first topic, and then we're going to just do a three-way discussion.
Yep, I think we're just gonna fire questions and we're gonna answer them pretty well and thoroughly, and then we're just gonna keep going around the round table. All right, guys?
All right, sounds good to me.
All right, so I'll kick this show off. All right, question for you guys: do you have any phobias? Let's start with Corbin.
Ooh.
Yeah, for being 6'5", I am definitely scared of heights. 100% scared of
Seriously?
heights.
Sort of ironic.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling. What was it? The theater in Madison. It was, what's the big theater in Madison for like?
The Marcus Cinema?
No, it was where they do musicals. Like, I don't remember.
Oh, I know what you
Lion
mean.
Energy Center.
No, it wasn't there. But there was this theater, and we were like 100 feet up, and I didn't know when I was going into the show that it was gonna be like that. It was like Phantom of the Opera, and we were front row, above everybody else, like 100 feet up.
You mean
I don't remember where.
it's
it
like where
was.
they do all the plays
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
Oh, okay, I know what you
don't remember what it
mean.
was called, but this is the scariest thing ever. We had to leave, like, we had to go to a different seat because I couldn't sit there. It was too scary for me.
I don't know. I'm to the point where I've done so much stuff with theater that I'm just like, we went to this one theater that was in Milwaukee on the south side of Milwaukee, and the main theater for it, they had this catwalk, which if people don't know what catwalk is, it's basically like a really, really high raised up over top of a theater. The catwalk was probably 70 feet up in the air, and it was like you had to go and like stick your arms out of a window and hold like this 30-40 pound light over top of it. And if you dropped the light, you dropped it down into the seats and crushed things. And these lights are made out of metal, so they would have just broken things. But we had that, and we were working on stuff, and it was cool. I mean, it was a neat thing to do, but after that I'm not really scared of heights anymore, because it's just like you either did it or you didn't get a chance to actually finish the show. So, John, phobias?
One for sure I can confirm. This is a pretty easy one. Corbin knows me pretty well on this. I want to say bees.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate those little buggers.
Jesus. We had it, at where I work, we had this, we had all these bees come in, and they were like they weren't dead, but they were just like slowly crawling around the stairs, and we had like 10 of them every day on the stairs. And they had to have janitors clean them off, because like the bees would just be in the warehouse on these yellow stairs. I don't know if it's because they're yellow stairs or what, but like...
They're just vibing, dude.
Apparently, man.
I've run over so many hives while I'm mowing, and then like I won't know it until the first one that guards the hole stings my leg, and then I just let go of the mower. It's a push mower, so it doesn't move unless I'm holding it. So I'll get stung, I'll run away, I'll leave the mower over the nest.
Oh
It's
no.
happened like 4 times, I feel like.
Yeah, at least.
I remember at my grandma's place, they always used to find like tons of hives of ground bees. Like it was like a daily occurrence for it to happen. I don't know if I would say it was a phobia, but I've always had this issue. Is when I was younger, and to this point still, it's less of an issue than it was, but I have always had an issue with like bleeding, like with blood in general, and
I'm
it's
the
like
same way.
like. I have never had a time where like I've like been like, oh my god, I'm gonna pass out of this stuff. I think I got close when I was in this one class that I had, but I've never had it happen to me. And I think as I've gotten older, it's better. But it's still like, which was really funny because my science teacher gave me crap for it. He's like, no, he's like, this is not a gene thing. This is not any part of your DNA. He's like, this is just because you're scared of it. I'm like, so like. People who are afraid of the dark, same kind of thing. He's like, yeah. He's like, it is literally you are just scared of it, and your body is making it worse than it seems. So I'm like, can I overcome it? He's like, depends on you. I'm like, that's great, that's nice. You're gonna give me all this information and then tell me that I don't know how to overcome it or not. But it's weird.
Like I'm the same. I'm fine with like seeing it from a movie or some sort of standpoint like that. But when it's something on myself, like let's say my whole elbow, I got in a bike, like some accident or something, and I fell, and like my entire elbow was just scraped up, and it was like dripping blood. Like I thought I was gonna pass out pretty soon after that once I got home. But like if I see it happen to somebody else, I'll be just fine.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Well, and like it doesn't like people are there's some people that are bothered by it. Like if you see other people have issues with it, but that's not my case. Like if someone is like hurt and I find that, it's not an issue for them. Like I've walked up to people at work that get cut and stuff, and you have to be careful because it's a bloodborne pathogen thing. But I put like band-aids on people that are bleeding and stuff, and I've never had issues with that, which doesn't make sense to me because it's a phobia of you getting cut, but not others. It's like, it's so weird. But, alright, do you want to move this way around, or do you want to go to Corbin, or?
No, I think we can go clockwise, so Corbin.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright, let's see what we have next.
Is your question.
Alright, where is it? Okay. Yeti or Bigfoot, and are they real?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just gonna go into Zach. Let him say your opinion.
Oh, no, you can't throw me into this right away. Now I have to sound like I actually know about this. Okay, well, if you really want to go off that topic, hashtag Bigfoot zip lines in the Dells, that's obviously proof at this point.
It's living proof it's real, let's be honest. Who else made it? But?
Exactly, it has to be proof of someone.
Just like we found out in our previous episodes that E.T. is real.
Oh no, I forgot about this.
They're actually cousins.
Oh.
If you didn't know
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think, okay, if we're being honest with this, I would say that, oh God, if I say this, then my opinion's always out there now, and I'm going to be quoted for this.
Do it.
Okay, you know what? Who cares? Fine. I think that there is something that is close to Bigfoot, but I don't think that it's like this walking around dude or anything. Like, I don't think he's like some mysterious animal. I would assume that it's some just thing that is like kind of died out over the years and we just don't know about it, and maybe it's like a bear or something, but like I think people are like, well, he's like 6'3", he's walking around the woods, he looks like a person, he's got like these fuzz, and like you guys know the descriptors of what Bigfoot is like supposed to look like, and like that image in your head.
Stereotypical.
I don't think he looks like that, only because like, okay, we've never actually had like hard on proof about this. So my idea of it personally is like, yeah, sure, there's probably something that's like Bigfoot, but it's not like what he looks like that at all. So I feel like if we found more proof about it, then I would believe it more, but at this point I'm kind of undecided, so. Alright, John?
I think if Animal Planet has to make like a documentary series or like a reality TV series like Finding Bigfoot, they have to make a series about that. Like, if they have to make a series about it, I don't think it's real, they're just milking it.
Yeah.
Like as Zach said, it's just probably for what we know, it could just be some random dude, some hitchhiker that got lost that some person found.
Well, there were so many people that have put like YouTube videos out of like, great, now I'm talking about YouTube and we're on YouTube. But so many people have put out like all these different like people in suits and like Bigfoot suits and walking around and doing this kind of stuff, and it's like, okay, but now you're just putting an image in people's head that Bigfoot's real when we probably don't have any proof of it, and now we're just some dude walking around in a Bigfoot suit. It's like, that doesn't make us anybody feel better. So
I feel like it's just kind of stupid because if you think about it, we have zero proof that aliens are real, correct? Basically zero proof. I mean, to some people will say that. And they have, higher technology than we do, they're supposed to have, or whatever.
Yeah.
Bigfoot has zero technology, and we still have zero proof of Bigfoot. Like, he doesn't have, it's not like he's hiding, he can't go invisible, he doesn't got technology like aliens, and we still have just zero proof.
What, you haven't seen his social media page lately?
No,
the dude's
I
like
didn't look at it
everywhere,
yesterday.
honestly.
Oh, my bad.
His Twitter handle, I'm like, shit, it's
He's
insane.
got like 2 million followers.
The dude's famous. Hey, I don't need the sheet. I got these sheets over here. You guys can keep your sheets over in the center, not you.
Well, I guess that's their opinions. No Yetis, so just Bigfoot.
Oh, that's right. Oh, we had to go off the Yeti too. Are we going off the Yeti or are we
No,
just
that's
gonna...
fine.
Alright.
They're basically the same thing. Just
That's
folklore.
true. Alright, so I'll go off my next one here. I have so many to choose off of, and I'm actually... You know what? You know what? I'm going with this one. I'm gonna do it.
Dear tiny infant Jesus.
Hey, sweetie, Jesus did grow up. You don't always have to call him baby. It's a bit odd and off-putting to pray to a baby.
Well, look, I like the Christmas Jesus best, and I'm saying grace. When you say grace, you can say it to grown-up Jesus or teenage Jesus or bearded Jesus or whoever you want.
You know what I want? I want you to do this grace good so that God will let us win tomorrow.
Dear tiny Jesus, your golden fleece diapers with your tiny little fat balled up fist
He
pawing
was
us.
a man. He had a beard.
Look, I like the baby version the best. Do you hear me? I win the races and I get the money.
Ricky, finish the damn grace.
I like to picture Jesus in a tuxedo T-shirt because it says like, I want to be formal, but I'm here to party too. Because I like to party, so I like my Jesus to party.
I like to picture Jesus as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
I like to think of Jesus like with giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner with like.
All right. Well, as John started to say, but we had the video pause prior to that. Baby Jesus or bearded Jesus? This is a real question now. Y'all can't mess around with this. All right. So, guys, which one?
I'm going with the OG and bearded Jesus.
Yeah, the real OG.
Yeah.
The dude who's like, oh, everywhere, honestly.
Think of him. You don't think of baby. Let's be real. You think of the normal.
You only think of him as a
bearded-
baby for one day.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Good old bearded Jesus.
All right, I'm gonna go the same route. I don't like. There's all these different things, and that was after that came out from that movie. I think that everybody just thought about it. I'm pretty sure that's also how we had one of our fans think about it too. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Bearded Jesus as well. All right, that was a shorter topic, but we just wanted to throw that in there for you guys to get a little interesting comedy for your day. So, alright, next topic, over to John again.
Alright, I got a good one. Hulu or Netflix?
Alright, you start off now.
I'm going to go with Well, it depends on what you're looking for, because...
Oh, no.
Alright.
Wait.
It depends on what you're looking for, because Hulu...
No, we did this in a prior podcast. It's either one or the other. But because we figured out this off of the holidays thing, you gotta choose one or the other.
Just let me back this up, okay?
Alright, you get to rant, but in the end, make sure you have a final conclusion. Go.
Damn it. Okay. Well, between Hulu is a better streaming service, I'd say for like TV shows that you'd see on actual live TV. Like, let's say anything from like NBC to Cartoon Network or whatever you watch, really.
Yeah, that's me.
Like anything that plays on actual live TV. Netflix is more of its own original stuff for television stuff. For movie-wise, and probably movie-wise, I'd probably say Netflix is definitely the way they go. Because they introduce new stuff. Not only their original movies, but they also introduce like older ones and more classic stuff that also air in theaters and stuff that people would actually like to watch.
Well, and I mean, Netflix has had a really, really good run of Netflix originals. I mean, like, I would venture to say probably 30 or 40 movies I've watched this year in total that were really, really good Netflix originals. And I mean, these were just all, and a lot of them, sometimes you'll have them where like the actors are kind of like not known. But other times, I've been at sometimes where you have like big actors like Will Ferrell, you got Adam Sandler and stuff. I mean, like, they're Netflix originals, but Netflix has a lot of big partners with bigger actors, so, yeah.
I'd say the same thing. Like, did you watch the Adam Sandler Hubie Dubois?
Oh my god, that was so
It was
good.
actually really good.
It was good.
I like the Netflix originals. I think a lot of them are really good.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm
Alright,
not big into Hulu.
So then, if we're gonna go back to this, you need to make your final decision, Netflix or Hulu, John.
I have to go with Netflix on this one.
Attaboy.
Alright. Oh, sorry, that was probably just absolute ear rape from that. Sorry, no clapping in the future, I guess. Alright, Corbin, what's your final decision?
On Netflix, any day of the week.
Alright. I think I'm also going to go with Netflix. We personally, for our family, we don't actually use Hulu like that much at all. We have a big Netflix subscription, like across the platform kind of thing, and we'll use that. Before we had like Spectrum, like cable kind of stuff too. What?
What?
So confused.
Continue.
I'm scared now. But like we
Corey's
had,
giving this dangerous look at us all.
I'm scared. But we had like different streaming services and stuff, and overall we ended up going to Netflix just because it was the easier one and it was way cheaper in the long run too. So, all right.
If you have Netflix, you really don't need like normal TV unless
Yeah.
you're just watching the news or.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
The
necessary.
And I
news
mean-
you can find from your own media sources,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
You don't really
Yeah.
need
Or
a
like
news.
sports though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sports I can see.
Yeah.
But I can't see it for the news.
But even for sports too, like if you have streaming services, if you have like a game that you want to watch or something, and like for that season, I mean, you can always get a streaming service just for that time frame and then cancel it after that. Also, now I sound like a bad rep for streaming services, but like you can cancel after that time. So if you are really big into like college football or you're really big into like hockey or something like that, you can always get that streaming service for that season, and then after it's done, then cancel it. It's just another bill that you add on to it because Netflix isn't that kind of thing, but they're not really made for that anyway. So.
I was upset Netflix got rid of their free trials. They just got rid of them.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw that.
And I couldn't use them anymore. It's kind of sad day.
All right, so
I used it on end.
Hey,
He made,
hey.
he made new emails.
Whatever floats your boat, alright?
That's, you know what? Round of applause for you. That is determination to keep
I know.
making new emails to get through free subscriptions.
I was
Hey,
almost finished my show too. Whatever.
all right, you know what? We're gonna do this. We did this on the last podcast. Shout out to Netflix. You want to shoot? You want to give us a few free subscriptions to send to our viewers?
Did we that?
We're not gonna send them to a Corbin or anything. No, but like seriously, we'll throw them out there. We're nice enough. Oh, you know what I completely forgot to do? We have a T-shirt giveaway on this episode. I did not even... We are about to space this. We're at 42 minutes into this podcast with only 3 minutes left, and we didn't even talk about the T-shirt giveaway.
Well,
We got
we'll
time.
see you next week.
We had the shirts come in last week. We had them come around on our actual podcast. We're just going to bump that up to the next week. We're just not going to talk about this at all. All right. We are going to pause. Get all of your information ready because when we come back to this podcast, we are going to be using a phone app, I know, millennials, to spin the wheel and figure out who's going to win. We currently have 25 applicants into the form, and you guys have pretty good chances because we're a lower YouTube channel, but we still have 25 people, so get out all your information, and we will be back with the phone app and letting you know who won. As you know, there are 2 T-shirts. There is a green T-shirt and there is a blue T-shirt. I think I lost them. No, we know where they are. Hold on a second here. Alright, after having to get the shirts back, we're here. Okay, so, just so you guys know, this is the T-shirt giveaway. We are giving away 2 free T-shirts. No purchase at all necessary. Just those details you had to add into this. So we are going to say this. We hope that all of you are subscribers onto this. YouTube changed the rules around on us a little bit, and now we can't actually figure out all of our subscribers to the channel. Our next form will be fixed for that, and it won't be an issue next time, but this time around it was kind of a little dilemma. So, just so you guys know, we can't include pictures of these yet because we haven't actually posted a video about this of the T-shirts. But if you win a T-shirt, we will notify you in an email. But if you are checking out our podcast, then you should already know that you are checking out our podcast. And sorry, that was a little bit of rambling. If you check out our podcast, and if you're at the end of this podcast right now, then this is our giveaway time. But also, we will also send you a confirmation email so that you know twice as much and that you are aware of it. 2 winners. Let's spin the wheel. Alright, so we're going to spin the wheel right now.
It is legit.
Don't mind the truck noise in the background. Sorry about that. Alright, so what we have, I didn't really mention this in the first part. We have a green tee with the 4RG lettering and with size large with our logo, and then on the bottom of it says stay random. Then on the other one we have the full name, 4 Random Guys, green letters, blue shirt with the logo. Depending on who wins, you guys are allowed to choose what t-shirts you want. So when we email you and we let you guys know, then just know that you are allowed to choose first come, first serve. Whoever wins first in the podcast gets to choose their shirt first. So. Alright, so without further ado, here we go. We'll spin the wheel. It even has awkward sound effects.
Makes it so much better.
Oh my god,
Bingo.
I really hope that it doesn't actually announce what it is. Alright. Our first winner is Bailey. Alright, so Bailey, I can pull up the results after the podcast here. Or you know what, I can just pull them up now because I have them with a Google Doc. Alright, so Bailey Fitzgerald, 3968 is your code, and you can claim your free t-shirt. Remember, you got the blue and the green tees, and you can choose either one. So, alright, let's do the next one, and I swear if it hits...
Oh, the audio stopped.
I did turn off the duplicate person, because if we have 25 people and one dude's winning twice in a row, we're kind of screwed. Alright, so Simon won the next one, and let's get his username off of here. 1 second here. Alright. Oh, I apologize for that. Tyson, actually. Tyson Holmes 1090. You have won the second shirt of our drawing. And unfortunately, I hate to tell you guys this, if you do not want a t-shirt, there will always be another time. We are probably going to be giving away some stocking caps and possibly a water bottle on our next one too. So, alright, so Bailey, you get to claim your first t-shirt up here. Remember, there's a blue and the green one, and the green one has the new lettering, the 4RG, and the blue one has the 4 Random Guys logo. So, Bailey and Simon, we will shoot you guys an email to let you know that you've won, but otherwise, thank you very much, and let's see you guys in the next podcast.
Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations to all of our winners, and for the people that did not win, we apologize, but remember, we will be doing a bigger giveaway in our next video. Thank you very much, and remember, stay random.